Okay, welcome aboard, everybody. I am called Doobyis. This show is called Fly in Formation. It's a little project that I started doing as an offshoot of my mix show. My mix show is called After the Smoke is Clear, or ATSIC, if you like acronyms. And every week I play independent hip hop from coast to coast and try to just kind of highlight people I think should get more shine than they might be, and even just scenes I think should get more shine than they might already be getting. And that's a big reason that I've started reaching out to artists, is to kind of be able to build some type of relationship and talk to people about, you know, the scene that they come from, and hopefully kind of, you know, just spread knowledge of the various local scenes across the map that put out a bunch of dope hip hop that, you know, people across the country could be enjoying but probably aren't hearing. So that said, without further ado, today I have got Gritfall joining me. Let me just get us both on screen here. There we go. So yeah, Gritfall, Toronto based, right? Right. Hell yes. So yeah, man, I mean, you just put out an album, what was it, 3 days ago, I think now it's been out, something like that? Yeah, right, called Skate Home, and yeah, man, it's a super dope album. I picked it up over the weekend, got to listen through the entire thing. You know, I'm hearing a lot of, like, lyrically, you know, like Nas influences, like the true East Coast kind of boom bap lyricism that, you know, that I gravitate towards. So respect for doing that. It's also completely self-produced, so you know, production wise I hear influences like RZA, MF Doom, kind of stuff like that, which again is the music that's right in my wheelhouse. I play all sorts of stuff like that on After the Smoke is Clear. You know, props for putting together an album that isn't necessarily trying to fit into trendy mainstream hip-hop boxes. I could hear that you're putting, you know, a lot of effort and a lot of soul into it. And, you know, I think it's really cool how not only are you super talented, you're 17 years old as far as I have read anywhere online, so like super young, getting into the game, but you've managed to link up with people who are already making big moves. You know, Res Fresco and Baker's Club. And I just kind of wanted to know, like, you know, I presume kind of they're helping you get the music out to the people, probably helping with, you know, some of the recording process and stuff like that. But I wanted to ask, like, how'd you link with Raz and Baker's Club? Sorry, guys, audio is muted, but he thanked me for having him and for saying nice things about Skate Home. Then he said Raz and him met at a producer night called Flip a Beat Club that I've seen him talk about elsewhere. And he said all of his friends have been gradual and organic, I think.
From a very young age. And I'd say, you know, Baker's Club and all these people have helped me definitely with the recording process. But this Skate Home album, you know, I did it in my basement, in my house. So it was like I was recording all these tracks on my Scarlett. Every single one of these tracks is recorded on, you know, Scarlett, Focusrite, mic, headphones. So it's like, it's very basic stuff. I'm using Ableton. Like, I used the free trial for 4 years.
Word, man.
You know?
I mean, hey, at least you weren't using the cracked version that everybody else is using, right?
You know, all that side of like getting DAWs and stuff. I'm for it, but you know, it's a lot, man. To talk on.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a big bankroll, and it's a lot of learning curve too, learning those programs and shit too. So, yeah, I mean, step by step as you go through it, man. But yeah, dude, do you guys work as a crew? Like, will we get a Baker's Club album?
You know, I would hope so.
I hope so too, man. I want to hear posse cuts from you guys.
Yeah, there was definitely posse cuts. And I'll tell you, you know, it's we make music together. It's friendship.
Word. Well, the first single had Raz on it, right? The name is slipping me, but I played it last week on ATSIC. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that first single had Raz on it. Beautiful story how that single actually came about. In fact, me and Raz, I brought Raz that beat with 15 bars on it. And as you know, as an artist, 16 bars is a proper verse, right?
Right. Yep.
So I only had 15 bars. And that's just kind of how I write sometimes. Like I won't be really paying attention to bars. I'll just be putting all my thoughts down. And, you know, Raz completed it. Raz took like what I recorded on that beat and said, taking your time too much. Oops.
We lost it. Yeah, yeah.
So he just added that there and then just kept going and then I added my little hook and then he went on in his verse. It's organic.
It sounded organic. That's a great single. I really liked that one, dude. But
yeah. And even the title track "Skate Home" with Raz, that was the reason that the album's called "Skate Home." Like obviously, his title track.
Yeah.
But yeah, I said the last bar of my verse, so I had to skate my behind home. That was
it. So if you had to describe Skate Home as a total album, what would you say about it?
Fly, peaceful. I'll say it's enjoyable. You can listen to it like while driving your car. You can listen to it, you know, while hanging out with some women. You can listen to it like at a beach. It's very peaceful and enjoyable.
Word.
Oh, my Siri just responded. So sorry.
No worries.
It's very easy on the ears. It's ear candy.
Yeah, I agree. Lots of kind of like chill kind of jazz samples and yeah, very laid back vibe to it. I would agree. Definitely good music for chilling on the patio or on a beach or whatever, right? Something I noticed about it, listening through it, it's got, what, 17 tracks or something like that?
14 tracks on there.
14, okay, yeah. And the longest one was like 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Now, I've got my own theories about why this trend is happening in hip-hop with the shorter songs, but I wanted to ask you.
Attention spans, that's it. We all know it's attention spans.
Yeah,
everyone knows.
All right.
You know?
I mean, so my theory goes a little bit deeper than that, even in that if you're going to get somebody listening to your music for 20 minutes, you know, having them listen to 10 2-minute long songs is going to get you paid 10 times, right? 10 streams, whatever, indeed, little fraction of a penny each stream is worth.
You know, streams aren't what we're trying to get paid from.
No, exactly.
Right now, it's like streams. Like, why I would never focus on like making my song a certain length for streams. Really, that's just how the songs are made. If I had more bars for these tracks, I would put them on these tracks. It's just I feel like once I get that last bar on there, it feels like it's done.
Talk your shit, say what you need to say, be done with it, right?
In the future, I would love to have 3-verse songs with a hook, like very structured songs like that.
I mean, sometimes these days 3 verses you start feeling like it's too long. Like I agree with you, man. Even as somebody who came up listening to all that music, 3 verses at a time. Yeah.
I'm just very confident in myself and my ability to keep someone entertained for 3 verses with, you know, my content, my life. I have all these stories and stuff in my head. If I give you everything I know for 3 verses and I get a beautiful hook on this beautiful jazz beat that I made. I'm 17. I just produced a wonderful, beautiful sequence song.
Hell yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, man.
That story to me is beautiful. And that listening enjoyability, I feel like I love listening to those type of tracks. So why wouldn't I make the stuff that I like to listen to?
So when you're making beats, like you said you had Ableton going, do you have a sampler or like what's your process for beat making look like right now?
I do have a sampler, and Raz actually lent me a wire so that I could use it. I have an Kai MPK.
Okay, so yeah. I got the same one sitting here on my table, yeah.
Is it the red one?
This guy right there.
Yeah, I have the same one.
Yeah.
Trust. Okay, so yeah, it has the keyboard right there. You see, I don't use the keyboard much unless I'm fucking around with a bass trying to find a key or something. but I'll use the pads and stuff for drums. I'll use it for sampling different chops and stuff like that. But I really I've been so used to using Ableton just as like visually seeing this stuff, closing my eyes sometimes and feeling it out. That's what I do a lot of the time. I can make a beat anywhere with my laptop.
Yeah, man. I remember, I think it was like Ninth Wonder or something, talking about Fruity Loops way back in the day, was saying just that, like, you know, somebody dope is going to be able to make something dope no matter what program they're using, no matter what sampler they're using. It's yeah. So
let's talk about Madlib.
Yeah, there you go. Right. Yeah, man. So like you said, you did you record it all at home? Did you do all your vocals at your own place then too?
Except for Taking Your Time, I recorded at Raz's.
At the bakery. The one I always see on his posts and shit with all the comics on the walls and whatnot.
And I think a couple maybe ad-libs or something, but the rest, yes, at my house.
Nice, man. So something I always like to ask people is like, what would the ideal recording situation look like for you? Because I know, yeah, there's a lot of different people who have a lot of different opinions on that one. Like, do you like having a bunch of homies in the studio? Do you like being alone?
I like having my family with me. I don't like being like secluded for very long periods of time, but I feel like it's important. Like, I'll be in my room. I like having around maybe 6 hours of just alone time a day, if possible. And some days I'll even just stay the whole day alone, just because I know that it's like, you know, some days, you know, I've been too much around people.
Right.
And when I have my family with me in the studio, it's different than having like just someone who I don't know, because someone who I don't know, I don't really trust their opinion often. And maybe they're loud while I'm recording, or that's just like simple things. Like, yeah, we're past that. Me and my friends are past that. So if you want to come around me and my friends, then like, you gotta be past that.
Nice, man. So like, while you're making beats, are you writing? Do you write? Because especially since you said you had something that ended at bar 15, it makes me wonder, like, I've been around a lot of guys who write just, you know, no music. They're gonna write a bar, or they're gonna write a verse just sitting in silence, and it's almost like writing poetry, and then they figure out how to put it to music afterwards. Yeah. But I know a lot of producers / MCs who will, like, by the time the beat's made, they've already got the song coming together in their head too, right? So yeah, where are you at on that, man? Yeah.
So I can write shit to no beat. I can write shit to a drum loop. I can write shit to a hi-hat tempo.
Word.
It's like since I do this shit so much, it's almost like I'll wake up and my first thought is like, damn, first of all, like, what's the sickest like art that I get to create today? Like, I wonder what it's gonna sound like. Like, I'm already just like thinking about like, damn, like I wonder what I'm gonna create today, because I've said it to myself doing that so much.
So you writing every day?
Every day.
Yeah.
Easily.
Nice,
more than 5 times recently. Recently, I've been on this like tear because I'm in between albums.
Right.
That's such a weird phase for artists. I feel like you can understand that as well, you know. Being in between albums just puts you in a little space where you're like, damn, let me try to recreate, reinvent. Let me try to like look for different other sounds. So
for sure, man. Yeah. So between Grip Tape and Skate Home, would you say your sound changed at all, or
yes,
advanced? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Better.
Weird, man. Another thing I was wondering, with those 2 albums, Grip Tape and Skate Home, I mean, we're obviously on a skate theme here. Are you nice on a skateboard? You as good at skateboarding as you are rapping, or what?
No.
Fair.
I'm not as good as I am rapping, but I can do things on the skateboard. Like, I used it for a while. I started skateboarding around the same time I started rapping.
Word. Here's one. It might be too early for you to really have a definitive answer on this because I don't know how many shows you've really done, a young guy like yourself. But do you have more fun in a studio or more fun on stage?
Okay, I have.
Or maybe not even more fun, but which is more fulfilling for you, you know?
I love that question. I love that question. Thank you. Damn, the studio. The studio is more fulfilling. The stage is more
fun.
Automatic. I'm more consistent on stage. Because like when I'm making music, I'm experimenting.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll make something I don't like, but that doesn't mean that like I'm just gonna get down on be hard on myself now. I'm just gonna keep creating. But with performing, it's like I'm walking around practicing these tracks before every single performance. So like, you know, if I plan to make this shit good, it's probably gonna be good.
You got it hammered out by the time you're on stage, right? Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, that type of dedication to practice is something that you also get, you know, strongly in skateboarding, right? Like there's nobody pushing somebody to learn how to kickflip other than, I mean, maybe they're a couple homies or whatever, but I see parallels between skating and rapping, as far as building dedication, building skills, right? Like just constantly practicing. You got to be out there motivating yourself. So I guess, can I ask you, like, do you have any tips for other people who are trying to build that dedication in themselves? Like, did it come naturally to you? Do you have to work at being dedicated to the craft, or?
Yes, I have to work. Everyone has to work. My tip is everyone has to work.
Word. Yeah, that's valid, man. That's valid.
It's like me, the way I work is it's fun now. Like I've worked so much, I've gone through so many things that it's fun now. And if it isn't fun sometimes, I can see that and I can step back for a second and go live life and go experience some more. Because as an artist, we need to experience. We're talking about experience where our art is a reflection of our experience.
Hell yeah. Yeah. So you got to get out there in the real world and build those experiences, right?
Build your experiences, build your talents, and sharpen your steel. And you need to be around people that are likewise to you.
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to be who your 10 best friends are or whatever, right? That's.
Yeah. And don't have 10 best friends.
There you go. Maybe 5.
Yeah. Keep it at 5.
Word.
Keep it at 6.
Word.
Like, just. It's like steel sharpens steel.
Wu-Tang. Yes, sir. That's some Wu-Tang shit, man. Yeah, I love it, man. The W for life, man. Yeah. Dope, man. Yeah, I could hear that influence throughout the music, of course, for sure. And highly appreciate that. I still, every episode of After the Smoke is Clear, I start with a track from Wu-Tang. And when I started the show, I was like, I'm going to run out quick, but they have such a huge catalog, I'll be able to play something. But actually, since then, I've realized that they put out so much music still that there's always something with a Method Man feature or a new Capadonna freestyle, or there's something from Wu that I can still start every episode with. So even like second generation Wu, Intel and those guys, you know, I definitely rep that W as well. Oh, man, they made a big impact in my life.
Most definitely, brother.
Yeah, man. So I don't want to start up any generational shit talk here. And you said, you know, your tip for fellow youths was that everybody's got to put in the work, right? That it's a lot of work and put in that work. But it's unique talking to somebody your age for me, man, because most of the guys I'm talking to are double your age. They've been doing this for 20 years. And at this point, I don't want to say they're disenfranchised with it, but it's really just music for the sake of making music, I guess. There's not a whole lot of emphasis on the marketing or doing big numbers or anything really, right? Like, so I think you might have an interesting perspective compared to most people who I've talked to. But I wanted to ask you, because I'm always asking 30-somethings for their tips for the youth. How about the youth? Do you got any tips for the 30-somethings still making hip-hop?
Yeah. Um, I would say 30 something still making hip hop, I would say keep experiencing, because there's always going to be a content state where you feel comfortable and you're happy, but it's not always the best place to be. And it's not always the place where you're going to grow and elevate. If you're not elevating, you're at rest. You don't want that.
Yeah. Keep it pushing. Yeah.
Keep it pushing. And most definitely, if you're making hip hop and you've gone so long, know that you possibly haven't wrote your best verse yet. Possibly haven't made your best beat.
Yeah. I bet a lot of guys in their 30s would say that they're doper than they, were back in the day or whatever. Yeah, this isn't like, a lot of guys look at hip hop like it's like the NBA or the NFL, but like you can't tear your ACL in rap and not be able to do it as well anymore. Like you should just be able to keep stacking your skills, stacking your talents, and like you said, building new skills and talents, as long as you stay dialed in with what's current.
And healthy.
Yeah, and healthy.
You need to keep maintain a good relationship with yourself.
Word, man.
In the mind, the physical.
Yeah, man. So I know, like, as somebody who makes beats, you must do digging for samples. So you must spend some time listening through kind of old stuff, looking for samples. But beyond that, maybe, like, what do you listen to? Are you listening to anything these days?
Everything,
all genres, all.
Listen, I won't say all genres. I'll say I listen to just when I wake up, there's music playing. When I go to sleep, there's some music playing. It's just, I'm always really taking in things. Even say, taking a shower, I'll have some music playing and I'll just highlight certain points in the music that I like.
So do you listen to hip hop outside of kind of your own creative wheelhouse? Like,
yeah.
For me personally, I didn't used to listen to a lot of trap music until I started doing ATSIC, and then realized, oh, these guys are dope lyricists too. There was kind of, I was in my late 20s and just felt like old head mentality about like, that's not real hip hop or whatever. And I've scrapped that thought, right? Because to me now there's dope lyricists doing it in all of the different lanes of hip hop. Are you into any of that? Do you listen to trap or drill or anything?
Yeah. I'm all into the message.
Word.
So if a song has a good message and it has a good song structure, I love it. And if it has a good beat that makes me want to dance, I love it.
Word. Do you buy music? Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry. A lot of trap music doesn't have that. A lot of trap music doesn't have a good message. It's about feeling. And I can't settle for that. Yeah. I'm trying to elevate the youth. You can't elevate the youth with bad message. Like, if someone takes in this message that you don't want to, you don't know how they'll take that. Yeah. You don't know how they'll express that onto it, but you're responsible.
At this point, it's probably cliche to say, but there's a way to talk about street life that glorifies it, and then there's a way to talk about it in a reality-based way where you're still talking about the things going on around you, and you can talk about negative things in life. We're not all going to just sing Kumbaya on record, right? But taking some of those experiences and turning them into jewels of wisdom that you can pass on to somebody else, and to me, that's the trap music that I'm playing on ATSIC, right? Is like, there's got to be at least a few bars in there about something, you got to weave in some positivity. You got to have some content beyond just the glamour of it or whatever, right? But yeah, man, I find a lot of people in 2023 are no longer buying music. So that's another thing that I ask everybody I interview. Do you personally buy music?
Yes. I buy music in record shops and I buy music online.
Word.
Respect.
Yeah. So like you were talking about, your album is available only online at Baker's Club. Right now it's digital only. Is there going to be vinyl?
I would
Maybe?
really hope so.
Maybe,
I would
yeah.
hope so. Yeah, let's
All right,
go.
but no date set for it yet. All right, all right.
100%.
Cool. But yeah, man, like I always tell people, support digital music. Artists need it, even if it's 99 cents on a digital single or whatever. It's not like anybody's really paying the light bill off of that, but it gives somebody motivation. So
Coming back. Digital music, and like digital music and vinyls or records are coming back 100%.
Yeah, weird, man.
More vinyl sales than CDs this year.
I don't doubt it. I haven't actually heard that stat, but it doesn't really surprise me. CDs are so dead, man. Like the last album I did, I looked at it and was just like, does anybody even like buy CDs? Like cars don't even have CD players in them anymore. So that was released on t-shirt and digital, basically, right? But yeah, man, like that support is so important. So what would you say is the best way for people to show support? Is it go buy the album online or hit your posts on social media? Or
the best way to show support in my eyes is to show love on bakersclub.com, BKRSCLB.com.
Yeah, I'll put it on the screen here for people.
Thank you. And then definitely send me a DM of how you like my music. I have stuff that's on streaming services if you don't want to spend your pennies, but
Yeah, but I mean, dude, you can buy a song for 99 cents. People are spending $4 on coffee every morning.
And $20 on weed.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. $20 on weed, like nothing. Right. So, yeah, that's something I always ask, and I get different answers from different people or whatever. But, go out to shows, show love. Word of mouth is always huge, right? If people like music, they should be telling their friends about it, because that's the only way that anything that isn't mainstream is really going to get any traction, is that type of kind of grassroots word of mouth movement. Which in 2023 is largely something that takes place on social media. Do you use social media? Are you active very often on social media? I mean, I know you're on Instagram, but like,
it kind of sucks. I'm there. I'm on it. It kind of sucks. You don't want to drown in it.
Yeah. Be
there or be square and then just get out. And then be a circle.
Dude, so many of the artists I talk to say something along those lines, that like, oh, we've got to do it, but we don't love it. And I think it's because a lot of it feels fake, man. So that was another reason I wanted to start doing these interviews, was because, you keep seeing these tips and stuff for artists about like, oh, let the people in on your day-to-day life, make them feel like they know you as a person and all that. And it's, with little 30-second curated clips on your social media, it still feels kind of fake, right? But with a conversation like this, it's easier to, I don't know, actually say something that means something, and yeah, kind of just have some authenticity while generating content too. So appreciate you coming by to do this, man.
Most definitely. Really, really, really hope my mom and dad don't see me smoking in the bathroom.
Oh shit. Yeah, I hope they don't either.
We already do it.
Good luck with that, man. I remember being 17. Can I ask you about AI? This is something I haven't talked to anybody else in these interviews about, but as a youth, this is going to be your world that it's shaping, and a lot of the talk I see are people saying that AI is going to just ruin everything, especially for creatives, and we all need to be worried about it. And they're making songs where Biggie's rapping Nas's lyrics, and like, it's crazy, right?
The people who are worried about AI ruining creatives aren't too creative.
Yeah. I like that answer, man. I would agree with that. I don't think an AI is going to replace your lyrics or my lyrics or.
Yes, because we're here. We're literally like, yo, it can't replace any energy, any just motion or flow that a human can, that like a person with experience, a person with life.
I fucked around about a month ago and told it to write a battle rap for me. Give me 16 bars of battle rap. And I mean, it did it. And honestly, I was impressed that it could come up with it in 20 seconds or whatever, but we don't have anything to be worried about. They were pretty 1989 styled kind of Cat in the Hat bars, really. Like,
I'm glad.
yeah. So we're safe for a while there, anyways. But yeah, I agree with you, man. I think that the human experience is what makes art, important and effective. So
and the human connection and the human relatability.
Yeah, man. Actually, that leads into the question I have lined up next. How important is it that people are connecting with your music to you?
Not much. Personally, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way.
Yeah.
I mean, I make this stuff so I can listen to it, and me and my friends love it. That's all that matters.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Rap for your peers, man. The average person doesn't know what dope hip hop is or isn't. So rap for your peers, people who you trust the opinions of. And yeah, I think you'll do great doing that, man. How about this one? Albums or singles or both? Like right now, you've been doing albums. You got 2 back-to-back albums. Did you do singles between Grip Tape and Skate Home?
I did so many. I did everything.
Okay. All right. Word.
I literally, like, I have so many ideas every single day. Like, I made a bunch of beats this morning that were beautiful. Like, beautiful. My beats have risen to here. My verses are, like, up here, I think. So, like, once the beats catch up, then I'll just work on the verses a little bit more. And then they'll keep on fighting each other.
Do you ever mess around and look for other producers to work with, or pretty much trying to be self-produced?
I never mess around, but I like
words are important. Good. Yeah.
I definitely like to work on with other producers, because it's like so many other opportunities and chances. Like, people have different ears than me, and people have better ears than me, and people have better minds than me. Like, I'm 17. Yeah. How am I supposed to go out throughout this game, thinking like being cocky and confident?
Yeah. Actually, I saw an argument on hip hop Twitter yesterday where it made me think of something I'd never really thought about, because honestly, for the last 15 years, I haven't thought about Eminem very much. But somebody was saying that a big negative to Eminem's entire discography and career is that it's pretty much all self-produced, and that he hasn't worked with, the big producers who we all know and love across the board.
I bet he never heard that ever, and he is in his mansion happy.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's got $1 billion. He's going to be all right. Our opinions don't really matter, for sure. But as somebody coming up as a self-producer or whatever, I do think that there might be a danger, actually. And until reading that or whatever, I hadn't really thought of it that way. But I was like, oh yeah, it would have been dope to hear him rap with DJ Premier Beats or whoever else, right? Like he should have had an album with Alchemist in 2005, man. Whatever. But I think it's important to reach out and build those connections with other producers and other creatives. Like you were saying earlier, being around other creative people is going to propel you forward, right?
Definitely in this era too of social media, reaching out is never a bad idea, as long as you're reaching out on love and like the basis of respect.
Yeah. Because
a lot of my generation, as you said, had lacks respect. Or not, you didn't say it lacks respect, apologies. I'm saying it lacks respect.
I mean, I may or may not agree, but okay, yeah, sure.
True, but like, it's like, you see that, I see some of the people at my school, all of the younger people, it's just like, they're driven off of this like social media swipe game. Yeah. And it's not it. It's not the life I want to live. It's not a life I want to see my kids live.
Word. Here's a question that'll be interesting, asking a 17-year-old. What's work-life balance like for you? Like, most artists have a tough time, working enough to pay the bills, but also finding time to make art. I'm sure you've got school in that equation as well at this point. So, like, can you talk a little bit about how you balance all that?
It's difficult. Sleep is difficult. I don't sleep much as I should. I think my eyes are telling. But
that's what you tell your high school teachers anyways. Just sleepy today.
Hey,
sleepy,
I'm sleep deprived.
Words, yeah.
Right? So,
But I mean, writing every day, man, like you must be living life like a, on a real regiment or whatever, like real. Yeah, it must be busy. It must be busy, dude.
It is busy, but right now I'm actually not in school. I'm graduating through alternative, so I don't have to go to the normal 9 to 3 as people would expect. So that's actually a big plus.
Yeah.
I almost planned it out throughout even grade 9 that I would be like wanting to not do all of grade 12 because this is a very like fruitful time for creativity.
Yeah.
And doing that is the reason I got to do skate home because I was working every single day from 9 till 3, the times I would be in school.
Yeah.
The time like in the morning when the person's most creative.
Is that the truth? In the morning is when a person's most creative? I've always heard like just before bed kind of. Okay. All right.
It's unique to everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
all right.
I'll wake up very like with many ideas and I'll wake up with lots of I try to plan my days loosely, but definitely like time directed. Like this is gonna happen at this time. This is gonna happen at this time. But I leave time in between for myself to, on the fly, to think about like what I'm about to do.
Word. So when I talked to you to set this interview up, man, you mentioned that you want to make sure that you had an opportunity to kind of elaborate on some of these things, and so I won't stop you from talking ever during this interview. I like to keep these interviews real conversational or whatever. Say whatever you like, it's just a conversation. But I'm gonna leave this real open-ended and just say, like, can you describe the local Toronto hip-hop scene?
Yeah, sure. So in my eyes, the Toronto local hip-hop scene is my friend group. It's us. We're here. We're here to stay too. And it's like, it's me and my friend group have just like evolved over the years into great artists and into people who are like mentally older than our age group. And we stick with each other because we almost see that like that.
So when you talk about your friend group, like, I'm thinking you're not talking about the other Bakers Club guys only or whatever. Like, I mean, they're sure, but
when you say local, I imagine me and my younger friends.
Weird, okay.
Because I see Raz and Six Letter on a very high scale.
Yeah,
these levels.
Hell yeah. So what I wanted to ask though is like, will we hear music from some of those other homies, or like, is it out there and I'm just not seeing it? Maybe I'm not up on it.
On their respective accounts, I'm talking about 59 Arian. You can look at these on my Instagram accounts. On the first Skate Home post, it has all their tags.
No, the reason I ask artists this, man, is so that I can go through and like find more people to play on ATSIC. So I'm gonna look through. Yeah, I
love that I get to say this here. 59 Arian, Moses, who has his own brands, 272 clothing brands. Then we have Isaiah, skateboarder, Sick Oz skateboarder. Check his clips out.
Word.
And then we have Areeb Foreign, who is a rapper. He's more in the trap scene. As we were talking about.
Yeah.
But Moses is a rapper producer like me.
Nice, man. So, and these guys all got music coming out or out already?
They all got music coming out. I'm not, for them, I'm going to let them say what they got out right now because I'm not sure what they want to promote.
Sure. Okay. Well, I might have to dig through the internet then and see what I can find, but or hit them on their socials and see what they want to send me.
I know that Moses and Areeb and 5'9" all have music on streaming platforms, 100%.
Okay, nice. So, like, you strike me as a guy who probably has been to some ciphers and eaten some other MCs' dinners in the cipher a few times. Are there mic nights like that in your area? Or, like, are you hitting local kind of open mics and stuff like that? Or were you back in the day?
Yeah, before getting into Baker's Club, I used to deal with like rap ciphers. Nowadays though, I deal with, ciphers with building. We building our ciphers. It's not about rapping anymore.
Word.
So it's like I'll rap in my free time and when I'm like getting to create, but I don't really do open mics of the sort. If I'm doing something, it's really to perform nowadays. I used to do those like rap ciphers though with a Y in it, but nowadays, you know.
Yeah. More focused just on creating the art for sure, man. And honestly, like I can relate to that, dude. I've kind of always felt like freestyling's cool, but it's I don't know. It's tougher to express what you really want to express if you're coming off the top with it. So like,
we can freestyle too. It's just like I'll do that with my friends.
Yeah.
And one day I might do that on the radio.
Yeah, there you go. Word. You got shows coming up. It's probably interesting trying to book shows at age 17. 19 is legal in Ontario, right? Or what's the drinking age? Can you do shows legally at bars?
So drinking age is 19. I have done shows at bars.
Okay.
On my own, actually. Yes, 100%. I can do shows at bars. What am I talking about? I did a show once, like, I asked the bar on my own, and then me and my friend Arib did a show there.
Dope.
So, like, kind of dope.
Okay, no problems there then.
On May 30th, this coming May 30th, on my birthday, actually, if you're in the Toronto area at Sugar Beach, I'll be doing a show for 102.1 The Edge music station, radio station.
Nice.
All right, so I'll just be performing a couple skate home tracks, and it's a free crowd. Actually, it's outdoors, so people can pull up to that. Just see me.
Beautiful. So May 30th. Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to promote, man? I mean, other than that, people should be going and buying Skate Home at BKRSCLB.com. Bakers Club with no vowels.
Yeah, most definitely. So basically, go to BKRSCLB.com, and if you see Skate Home there, and you purchase it, and you decide to purchase it, you can DM me and give me your feelings. And then I'm going to ask you to purchase every single other one of the Bakers Club members' art, because we're all like focused, right? We're all doing this music thing.
Yo, cop some merch there too. I should have put it on, but so when you cop a hoodie at BakersClub.com, though, I will say, buy that thing a little bit bigger than maybe you think you might have to, because I ended up buying the same Bake Cake hoodie twice, because the first one I got fit my wife better than it fits me. So, you know, just maybe size up a little bit or whatever. I looked at it and was like, is this so I can show off my fucking sweet watch like fucking Raz does? why do the sleeves end so low? But it's dope apparel, man. It's really well made and everything. So
yeah, man.
I actually got some pants from Bakers Club too, man. I'm a big
all
supporter.
Made in house.
Hell yeah, man. Actually, that was why I bought the pants, because Raz posted on IG and he was sitting there on his sewing machine, and I was like, this is as independent as it fucking gets, man. Look at this shit. So yeah, all love for that, man. I think that kind of DIY mentality is like, I'd like to see hip hop move back to it a little bit, you know. Like we could knock some of the sheen off of the product at this point, I think, and go back to a little bit more of that like DIY, genuine from the ground up stuff. But yeah, man, I don't want to take up too much of your time or whatever. I've had a good time talking with you, man. Thanks for calling in, dude. I appreciate what you're doing with hip hop.
Oh, for sure. I appreciate you giving me the platform to, you know, promote my album Skate Home, which just came out, trying to get as much traction as much as possible, you know, hopefully all of my views, you know, and we course. So.
Hell yeah, man. I mean, yeah, you're the youngest guest yet for Fly in Formation, so, you know, maybe I tap into a new age group or something by doing that. But one way or the other, I'm just happy talking to dope MCs across the country. And yeah, man, thanks for doing this.
Oh, I'm happy to be here.
Hell yeah. Thanks everybody for watching and listening. I had a lot of fun talking to Gritfall. It's exciting to see so much talent coming up, and you know, coast to coast, there's a ton of talent across this country for the hip hop scene. If you're somebody who enjoys supporting, music that isn't right in the mainstream, if you're somebody who enjoys discovering new artists that are saying things and sharing their stories, sharing their perspectives, what I try to do on ATSIC is play as many of those artists as I can and get as much new music in as many new ears as possible. So ATSIC stands for After the Smoke is Clear. That's my weekly mix show. You can find it mixcloud.com/Doobyis. And the archives are up for free, hour-long mixes, unedited, and it's always new music. I never play anything twice, so you will be hearing new artists every time you click that button and listen. Mixcloud has a good app. You could grab the app. It's free. Make an account. It's free. And if you do that, you can download mixes from your favorite DJs, take them on the go without eating up your data plan. Make sure you go on over and check out bakersclub.com. That's Baker's Club with no vowels. I'll put it up there. And go buy that Skate Home album. Support artists who you enjoy, because they need that. And likewise, I hate doing this, but After the Smoke is Clear needs support as well. So if you enjoy this type of content, make sure you go over, find my Twitch, twitch.tv/Doobyis, and hit the follow, hit the subscribe button if you're feeling generous. If you have Amazon Prime that you pay for already, you can use that and link it to your Twitch account to give you a free subscription to your favorite streamer every month. So what a subscription means is I get a couple of bucks. If you're already paying for Amazon Prime, you're not going to pay anything more for it. So you can basically just give a couple bucks from Jeff Bezos straight to your average streamer. And that goes a long ways. We all appreciate that hugely. And I appreciate y'all for checking this out. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I have. And I'll catch you on the next one. Next week, I'm talking to Spitty.